All right, any second now, my friend Francisco is going to be rolling up in his 1959 Impala. We're going to do a video today on the 1959 Chevrolet Continental kit. And here he is now. 59 Impala two-door hardtop. Black with a red interior. Four-way flasher, electronic eye, litter container, speed minder, color bar, Zenith wire wheels, rear window blinds, and one-of-a-kind roof and deck lid, and also quarter panel insert. Okay, here are the components of an original 1959 Chevrolet Continental kit. This is an NOS kit I've had for a couple of years now. And the first difference that you can notice when looking at an original versus a reproduction on a car are the indentations here on each side of the kit for the license plate. I'm going to go back and forth quite a bit showing the differences, but if you come back here and take a look at this kit, there are no indentations. It's all smooth. The next thing, I don't know if you could see up in here, is the lip. Let me see if I can get it down here. Is the lip for the ring. The lip is smooth. It doesn't curl over on the edges. On the original Continental kit, you could see that the ring, the lip curls over right here on both sides. The bottom has two notches for the spring on the one side and one notch on the other side, where the reproduction only has one on each side. Now when looking at the basket here, or the two chrome bars, there's little bumps on each of these, right here and right here. Now, if you rub your hand across here, they're going to be smooth all the way across. The original basket, as you can see, these bumps are more defined. If you rub your hand across here, you can feel that they bump out along here too. And the bumps are more wider on the edges. Now, if you look at the adapters that hold the basket in place on the bumper, these here come more to a point. And these edges are more pointed on the basket. When you come over here and look at the reproduction, the corners in here are more rounded, and the bumper section is more rounded here too. See if I could show you the difference here. The left is the reproduction, more rounded. The right is the original and comes more to a point. Okay, the next thing we're going to look at is the handle. This is an original 1959 Continental kit handle. It's a 1 year only handle. You could tell right away that it's an original by the two holes on the handle. When you look at this kit, there are no holes here in the handle. And the difference on this handle versus the other handles are the screws that hold the rubber in place. Okay, now I'd like to talk about the back plate on an original. Here's the original back plate. As you can see, it comes down at an angle, goes flat, and goes back up, and it's got this little tab that mounts to one of the studs for the wheel. I'm gonna turn this over, and you can see that it bends, the lip bends over here and along here, and here again is the tab. When you look at the Reproduction, it goes farther down the wheel here. This doesn't flip over, and there isn't a tab that mounts to one of the studs. The ring just holds it in place. Now I'd like to look at the gas box here. The gas box looks pretty original, pretty correct to the originals in the Reproductions, but once you pull the gas box out, there is a difference. With this gas box on the side, where you're going to see these ribs here. Well, you see these ribs here, where the Reproductions don't have that. The other thing too is that the Reproductions don't have this hole here, because the gas filler tube has this bracket that comes out, and you put a screw in through here to hold it onto the gas box, where the Reproduction doesn't have that little hole, and there's no bracket on the gas filler tube. Now the Reproduction gas filler tube is wide where you put the gas in, and it stays wide all the way to where you clamp the hose at. Where the original gas filler tube is wide where you put the gas in and tapers down where you fit the hose on, and even the hose is tapered. You're going to have it narrow on this side and wider as you get down to the gas tank. Okay, next I'd like to talk about the little brackets that reinforce the trunk and the frame. And here's the brackets here that go into the horseshoe bars. Now, as you can see, this has the reinforcement here, or these have the grooves, and these have the grooves, and those are made out of stamped steel. And these are pretty close, but they're not made out of the stamped steel. They're welded together. And if I get underneath the car, if you look at the braces here, they're made out of flat sheet metal welded together. They don't have the grooves in place. And then there's the frame reinforcements, and they're just made out of flat steel. So they don't have the bends in them either. Now if I flip this over and we look on the inside, this is where the stud goes through to hold the tire carrier, and there's welded nuts on the inside of the brackets here. And this is for the license plate light. This bar here doesn't have any bars or reinforcements or anything on it. So when you look at the Reproduction, there's no nuts welded on the inside of the reinforcements, and the hole for the license plate light is completely round. It doesn't have the little bracket in there. The bottom piece also doesn't have any reinforcements or anything like that. It's pretty correct on the inside, but it's the top one that has the slight differences. When you look at the original, it's got this little notch here. Now I'd also like to point out that the originals came with this little piece here to hold the jack in place, and here's all the original hardware and the springs and everything for the original kit. These little pieces here are for the lower valances after you cut them. Those are the little reinforcements for them. And this is the cardboard cutout for your spare tire area with the Continental kit. This is an NOS piece. As you can see, it's got the cutout for the reinforcement here on the side of the quarter panel. Plus this area cut out here is where that T-section would come out to mount your jack. This car has a custom piece set into it, so it's hard to see where that's supposed to go, but it would go in this area of the trunk here. Now if I go back to the original faceplate on the Continental kit, the Chevrolet script is the same script that goes on the trunk of a 58 Chevy. And these cross flags are the same cross flags that would go on the front fenders of a Corvette, of like a 5960 Corvette. And if you take a look at the license plate light, you could see it has like this starburst lens to it, where the Reproductions don't have that either. So that's it with the video. If you have any questions, please comment below. Like and share and subscribe. Thank you for watching my video today on the 1959 Chevrolet Continental kit.